Hey folks, it's Ty Brown with DogBehaviorOnline.com, and it is a gorgeous October day here in Utah. You can see we got the mountains to the east, mountains to the west. So I thought I'd come out and make a quick video. We had a reader of our website uh, send us an email, and it was such common questions that I thought, you know what, I'll just make a quick video to kind of go over these questions because we get these types of questions all the time. So they said, they've got a young Cane Corso puppy, and the questions that they have are, number one, she's not coming when called. So obviously this is a huge question that we get all the time. You know, at our company here in Utah, probably 99% of our clients come to us, and somewhere on their list is, my dog does not come when called. Or maybe the dog comes when called, but not with distractions, or maybe not at the park or whatever. And so coming when called is such a huge thing. Um, the problem that I see almost every single time is that most people are expecting the dog to do it without ever being trained to do it. And so what I mean by that is people just simply tell their dog to come over and over and over and assume that one day the dog's going to come. Dogs don't speak English. They don't learn by being told. They learn by being shown. And so another, kind of thing that I always tell people is you're not going to have an off-leash trained dog until you have an on-leash trained dog. And so it's the rare dog owner that I see actually puts in the time on the leash before taking the dog off leash. And so now we've got programs where we can teach people in a matter of weeks how to have off-leash training with an e-collar. But if we're just talking leash training right now, generally speaking, you're going to do months and months of on the leash. And so what I mean by that is your dog is never off of a leash outside. And that sounds extreme, but what you're wanting is something that almost nobody has. You're wanting a dog that comes when called off leash every time. And like I say, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just basic. I just want my dog to come when called." Well, if it's so basic, how come you don't see people with with dogs that come when called? I mean, it's rare. It's rare to have a dog that is reliable at coming when called. So this is not a basic thing that people are talking about. So if you want something that's above basic, a dog that comes when called every time, you're going to have to do training that is far above basic. And so that means, like I say, one of two things. Tons of leash training right now, where you've got a 20-foot leash, a 30-foot leash, what have you, and the dog is never off of a leash, indoors or outdoors, until you've worked the dog through that. You tell the dog to come, they don't come, just a quick little pop on the leash, and you do enough of that over and over and over the course of months, and then you go to off-leash training. That's option number one. Option number two, like I said, there's a shortcut. It's easier on you, it's easier on the dog, and that's proper e-collar training, but that's obviously not something that I can just tell you how to do in a video, in a short little video. We've got the whole video DVD products on that. But yeah, so like I say, don't run before you can walk. Don't expect her to come when called when you haven't really trained it. You've got to use some leash training and actually teach it. Second question here is, she always needs to potty more than usual, poop and pee, no medical issues, and she will pee in the house even if she has just been out and went. And so this is a tough one because I don't know what you mean. Sorry, brushing off a bee here. I guess bees are still around in October. I don't know what you mean when she says she's going more than she should, because that is a very relative term. Some dogs go a lot, some dogs go a little. A lot of it's going to depend on quality of the food. And so down below this video, I'll put a link to the food that we recommend, because most foods that are out there are very low quality foods. And so dogs are going to poop a lot, and they're going to go to the bathroom a lot on a low quality food. And so, like I say, on a high quality food, your dog's going to go to the bathroom less. And so, now if the dog's drinking a ton and peeing a ton, you might want to look at diabetes. You say the dog has no medical issues, and so maybe you've already checked for that, but that's one that doesn't always get checked for right away, but it is a growing problem, and it's in part a big growing problem due to the lousy food that most people are feeding their dogs. So like I say, I'm not sure what you're feeding your dog, but I would recommend looking into really quality food. And making sure that you're giving her what she needs nutrition-wise with a quality food. And again, she should be on a leash indoors. So if she's on a leash, she's not sneaking away and peeing. The only way that she can pee in the house is if she does it in front of you. And so if she's doing it in front of you, you've got her on a leash, you're just really quickly going to give a quick correction outside and help her realize you can only do that outside. And then another question, how much should she weigh and how much should I be feeding her per day? There is no answer to this question because every dog is so different. Every dog has different nutritional needs. Every dog has different metabolism, and so it's such a different thing with every dog that there's no way for me to say, hey, she should be eating 3 cups and she should weigh this amount. What she should be is healthy, and so she shouldn't be overweight. And so if there's a lot of if there's a lot of fat on her ribs, that's the way you look at it. You want to be able to touch her ribs. You want to be able to feel her side and just barely feel her ribs under a light layer of skin and tissue and a little bit of fat there. If there's more than that, then she needs to eat less. If you're seeing some ribs, then she needs to eat more. And so, like I say, it's not what you see on the dog food bag is often so incorrect that I don't even bother looking at those. I just simply, let's start feeding the dog what looks right, and then let's see what her weight tells us. If she's going up, in a healthy way as she's growing up, then we're probably good. If she's getting skinny, we need to up that. Let me see if there's any more questions in here. Nope, it looks like those are the questions. So like I say, these are pretty common questions when it comes to raising a puppy. How much should they be eating? Going to the bathroom, things like this. This is just logistical questions. If I had one thing to tell you, keep that dog on a leash. She's sneaking away and she's peeing, not good. She's off leash and she's not coming when called. Well, of course not. She hasn't been trained to come when called. So again, you need an on-leash trained dog before you ever go towards having an off-leash trained dog. So best of luck and happy training.